All right, we are back. We are back. This is now time for the finals. We're going to have the fighters fight for first place. So the two fighters you see coming into the ring for every match will be fighting for first and second. Winner gets first, loser gets second. We're going to be fighting from lightest to heaviest. So you'll see the lighter weights go first, all the way up to heavyweight, which essentially has no weight limit, but at the same time, we're still in the Army. They still have to pass height weight, so there kind of is a weight limit because they can't have too much body fat.
Yep, we got some big boys, but they're athletic. If you score a certain score on the ACT these days, you can get out of the height weight measurements to a degree. But so we've got some big guys, but very, very quick, very athletic people, decent cardio. So it'll be exciting. But like Evan said, recently retired, complete. Maybe Evan said, starting with our lightweight fighters, we'll be building up. So lots of action to come.
If anyone's listening, can you just give us like a thumbs up or in the comments, just let us know that you can hear us clearly. There's a lot of background noise, so from our side, it sounds super loud. And then also, anyone watching that wants to give a shout out to any of their fighters, you're more than welcome to drop a comment in the comment. We'll give them a shout out. Let us know where you're listening from as well, and we'll give you a shout out as well. Thank you, Alan. Just had Sergeant Major Noise walking across the screen right now. Division Sergeant Major just walked in. Some great support from our chain of command for this event. It was actually Division Sergeant Major's Noise's idea to have the cage for the finals. So thank you, Alexandra and Clover. I appreciate it. So our first two fighters just entered the cage. I'm going to turn it over to John. He's going to give you a rundown of them.
All right, first fighter already in the cage in the blue corner. That is Specialist Angeli Podol. She's from CIS Company. She's from the G2 section. She's an intelligence analyst. Second fighter on her way in right now. She'll have the red wraps around her gloves. PFC Patricia Pinuelas. She's from the 97th Military Police Unit. She's a human resources specialist.
Yeah, so you're going to want to pay attention to the color on their gloves. Don't worry about the colors on their shin pads. Those are just, ignore those colors. Focus on the color of their gloves. So we have Specialist Podel with the blue gloves there in the tan t-shirt.
And then PFC Pinuelas, red wraps around the gloves and the black Army PT shirt.
Again, if you're just joining us for the first time, this is Combatives. I know it looks like MMA, but we use a lot of the MMA rule site. Oh, we got Kim sending a shout out to PFC Foster from his parents, South Texas. All right. Then we're on. Start off with a stiff jab there. Oh, to the ground. Good reverse.
Podol gets it.
Into mount. Oh, she can't secure it.
Pinuelas spinning for the guillotine.
Go for the guillotine right off the bat. It looks pretty tight.
Podol's fighting out of it.
Oh, quick match. Great job. I give a lot of credit to these two ladies.
Red.
Quicks. Is that one of the first submissions we've seen all day?
Second submission.
Second submission. We had the belly down armbar this morning. The second submission we've seen today. Guillotine choke.
Excellent move by Pinuelas. Spinning around, trying to get the guillotine sunk in. Once it's in there, it's very difficult to get out, especially with a full guard locked.
Being awarded the first place and second place medals right now. They're also going to be awarded later this week as part of the Victory Week celebration. So this Combatives tournament is part of a larger event called Victory Week. We've got all different sports going on Fort Riley throughout the week. It's meant to build esprit de corps throughout 1st Infantry Division, the Big Red One. However, the Combatives tournament is the most well-attended, most exciting event of the week. Other things we've got going on, we've got esports, video game tournament, bowling. I think there was a running race. There's a couple other different competitions. But Combatives, at the end of the day, is the most applicable. It is what we use for combat downrange when we're in that close-in proximity. We got a couple people jumping on in the messages. Alexandra giving a shout out to Duval all the way from Poland. We appreciate you watching, tuning in from Poland. And we have Clover giving a shout out to Harcher from his friend in Virginia. Glad to see you spreading the love of combatives throughout different communities and from all different places around the world. If you're not familiar, combatives is the Army's martial arts, for lack of a better term. It was comprised based off of using techniques from grappling from Jiu-Jitsu, striking from Muay Thai, and then weapons retention, just from lessons learned in combat. So the decision to close with and choke or break the enemy is actually option 3 on our list of options. Our primary method in an engagement would be to use our primary weapon, which is a rifle. Option 2 would be our secondary weapon, a pistol or a blade, or maybe disruptive strikes with a strike, with punches, or maybe even an object in the environment. And then our third option is close, dominate, finish. So that's what you're seeing here. You're seeing the close, dominate, finish portion. The Modern Army Combatives program is broken into a couple different levels. We've got a basic course, a tactical course, and a master's course. Basic course is 1 week. Tactical course is 2 weeks. Master's course is 4 weeks. Used to be divided into 4 different levels, level 1, 2, 3, 4. 2009, based off lessons learned from combat and how much time it was taking soldiers away from their unit, we condensed it down to 3 courses, and that's currently where we sit at. Alexandria also giving a shout out to Nunez from Kentucky. Roman Mata, Sergeant Roman Mata is the one who just entered the ring. He's got the blue wraps on his gloves. He's a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He trains at Elite Academy Martial Arts in Junction City. One of my friends, and also one of the guys who helps instruct me. Coming in the ring right now, Alexandria mentioned, is we've got PFC Nunez. Nunez, another one of our All-Army competitors. So both of these guys trained for and went and competed in the All-Army tournament in Fort Moore, Georgia this past April. That's like their national level competition. So these are both experienced fighters. Based off of Roman Mata's background, the blue gloves, he's going to try to close the distance, get into a grappling, and then finish the fight with a submission or maybe strikes. Nunez, less grappling experience than Roman Mata. So Nunez is going to try to keep it standing on his feet, try to keep it standing as long as possible, try to finish it with strikes from the standing position. So this should be a good one. I'm excited. I train with both of these guys. I grapple with both these guys. They're both my friends. So I especially have a vested interest in this fight.
Yeah, Evan, this is a tough one to stay unbiased on. We train with both these guys. Both of them have been on the team, very experienced. Will probably be one of the toughest final matches of the day. Both of them did a competition not too long ago. So, like Evan was saying, Nunez very explosive. Roman Mata very slick on the ground. They both have excellent strengths. Excited to see who can impose their will and will come out on top. We are underway.
Nunez got some striking experience with Muay Thai, so I think he's going to lean heavily on that. Here we go, and we're off. They're just kind of Roman Mata going for the shoots in.
He's gonna need to wrap up a little better, push against the cage.
And you see Nunez. Roman Mata's trying to grab a leg, but Nunez is throwing those knees. Those Muay Thai knees are coming in hard.
He's keeping the hips back, feeding the knees, not letting him get in on the takedown.
And this is combatives, right? So these are not professional fighters. So if one of the opponents looks like he's not defending himself properly, we will stop the fight. All these guys have to go to work tomorrow and on Monday. So we want to make sure they're healthy, but we also want to test their warrior spirit, make sure they get some good pressure tested environment.
Oh, good punch on the break by Roman. Nunez, though, looking to strike. He wants to be in this range. Roman's going to have to close again. He wants to set up the takedown.
As predicted, Nunez trying to keep it on the feet. Oh, there we go. Roman Mata's got the leg. He's got the leg. Nunez putting his back up against the fence here.
Mata turning the corner, taking the back. Nunez needs to circle and break Roman
Mata again. He's got one hook in.
getting the back.
He had the second hook in for a second.
He's got a shot at an arm bar. Looking to extend the arm. Can he get the tap? Nunez is looking okay. He's defending.
Tap. There it is. There it is. What a match. Great job by Roman Mata.
Roman Mata. Excellent display of sportsmanship by the two competitors. These guys are friends. They train together, same weight class. You know, in training, we're trying to make each other better.
Roman Mata with the win. Brown belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, trains at Elite Academy of Martial Arts in Junction City. Great match. I enjoyed Nunez putting it on. That was good. I really enjoyed that.
He definitely came out, threw his strikes. I thought a few of those body knees were really good, really well placed. Roman Mata adjusted. He caught the knee coming in, used that to get him against the cage, and then started working his takedown process from there. It's a good adaptation by Roman. You know, he made that choice on the fly. Nunez, he had a good shot, a couple good punches in there. Nothing to be ashamed of. Awesome fight. Really enjoyed it.
Roman Mata's got that wrestling background too, so he really likes no-gi jiu-jitsu. But as you can see, as he was trying to close that distance, Nunez's Muay Thai background was ready for him. Roman Mata definitely ate some solid shots coming in trying to grab that leg. Super proud of those guys. Again, we've been training with them all year. It's good to see them. We see the referee, Specialist Montemayor. He's got that gold belt buckle on, the 1st Infantry Division gold belt buckle. So one of the things we have at our post is every day, 11:30 to 1300, you can come and train for free at the Combatives Gym at 8636 Rogers Road. And every Friday we do an hour roll, about 4 or 5 minutes on, 1 minute recovery to switch partners, repeat for an hour. Once you get 24 of those, so a full cumulative day of rolling, you get awarded the gold buckle. It's a combination of, I'm an ultra runner, and in the ultra running world, a lot of 24-hour races have belt buckles. So I took some of that concept. A couple of the guys wanted a Combatives belt buckle, and that's what we came up with. And that's how we came up with a way to win it. It's a great incentive program for the soldiers, paid for by the officers and NCOs at 1ID Combatives. Keeps them training, keeps them engaged in the program, gives them another goal to shoot for besides, basic tactical masters and the competitions we hold throughout the year. It's just another perk, another way to represent 1st Infantry Division.
Yeah, it took me a while to earn my buckle, but I got there eventually. I feel like I was a little behind the other dudes. The 1 hour rolls are tough. You got to pull away from work. You got to do the time. We don't award full credit if you only do half the hour or so.
Yeah, you can't build it up by doing 30-minute segments. 30-minute segments count for 0. So it's a full time because you really find out about yourself in that last 15, 20 minutes when everyone's exhausted and you have to either rely on technique. You can't just rely on strength. One of the other incentives we have for 1st Infantry Division Combatives is we actually have 1st Infantry Division Combatives gis. So if you've been over onto our Instagram page and scroll through some of the pictures in our timeline, we've got these black gis donated to us by Dr. Arthur Grote and K-State with the help of Combatives Sports Center, one of the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gyms in Manhattan, Kansas. Those are the uniforms we use for outreach. So what we'll do is we'll take the Combatives team, we'll go visit high school wrestling programs, we'll go visit Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gyms, and we'll train with them for an hour, show them some technique, and then at the end, talk to them about the Army. See if they want to join. If they don't, cool, we just had a good day of training. If they do, great for the Army's recruiting. I believe up next we have PFC Duval and Corporal Harcher, I believe.
I believe Harcher is making his way in right now.
This is for the welterweights. I see we got a couple of Harcher fans in the comments. Dia calling in from New Jersey, East Coast, that's where I'm from. I'm from New York, Long Island specifically, but appreciate the love from the East Coast. Got another shout out for Harcher from Clover. Shout out to Duval from Nicole, all the way from Denver. Thanks for tuning in. Again, please spread the live feed around, share it with friends, family, especially the competitors fighting, and share it with any soldiers. Our ring announcer is Captain Thomas. He helps run the sports outreach program like I was talking about for Combatives. We're doing similar things with basketball and esports and the running teams. So that's who our ring announcer is, doing some great work there, bringing a lot of high energy. Our referee for this match, Specialist Montemayor, Master Combatives Trainer. I'm going to turn it over to John. We're going to give you a rundown of Corporal Harcher and PFC Duval.
All right, so in the blue corner with the blue wraps around his gloves, tan t-shirt, that's Corporal Jonathan Harcher from Echo Company, FSC, 1st BEB. He's a small arms, tow artillery repairer. He's got some experience in a Marine Corps martial arts program. So looking to see like more of a well-rounded fighter from him. In the red corner, we'll have the black shirt with the red wraps around his gloves, PFC Damien Duval from 1st BEB Bravo Company. He's a 12 Bravo combat engineer, has a wrestling background. I got to see both these guys grapple a little bit. Both of them know some grappling, know some submissions. Seeing them warm up, both of them seem like they got some decent striking. And here we go. Let's see what they bring to the cage.
Nice touch gloves, good show Swarson. Ooh, high head kick. That's
Archer showing his kicking ability early.
Impressive flexibility.
Trying to make Duval respect the distance. Duval has the longer reach. If Archer can use those kicks, he'll keep him on the outside.
Duval, keep going for those overhand rights, trying to set up that overhand right.
Oh, both competitors exchanging kicks, trying to find their range right now. Duval's probing in with the jab, stepping in, stepping out. Archer's looking to land the kick.
And trading shots back and forth in the middle of our tactical safety enclosure here.
Little flurry from Duval, trying to get that jab going.
Overhand rights, overhand rights.
Archer scoring with the kick, but not backing up Duval. Duval's still coming forward, throwing his overhand.
So this will be 3 3-minute rounds if it goes the full distance. Most of the fights have stopped early. 2 to submission, and then other ones usually due to referee stoppage after one of the fighters failing.
Pressing in with the strikes, using it to get to the cage. Now some dirty boxing.
Duval loves that overhand right. He's just throwing one after the other.
Archer's tying him up, trying to work off the cage. He's got a little Sotogari sweep, now just using it to defend knees. Close punches. They're trying to make some space where they can actually... Oh, good break, good break.
Got another shout out for Duval. Mama's cheering for you. Love seeing the support in the comments. Keep the support coming. Keep the support coming for your fighters. This will be posted on Facebook, so they'll be able to watch the replay at a later time after they finish their fights.
Both fighters continuing to probe, find their distance. Duval leading in with a big cross, committing a little more to his punches. Archer's using his defensive kicks, mostly defensive with the upper body. Eating a couple from Duval, he's sneaking some punches in and pressing to the cage.
Ref's talking to him. I'm not sure what happened right there. Archer's gonna have to make sure he's intelligently defending himself. We got Kedley giving a shout out to Archer in the cage right now. Archer's pinned up against the fence there, eating some shots. That's a 10-second mark.
Good control.
Then 10
Duval's
seconds.
trying to tee up.
I think that's it. That's it. Caught a hard right there, knocked him down, buckled his legs, and the ref stopped the fight.
Right at the buzzer, but good stop.
That was
earlier in the match. Archer turned away, wasn't defending, kind of looked at the ref. Ref gave him the "Are you good?" He re-engaged. got back in there, showing a lot of heart.
Absolutely.
Duval pressed in with a couple of those punches right, only with a couple seconds left, but that's going to be it for the match.
I'm impressed with these guys. You know, as an older generation, every generation is like, I don't know about the next generation, but from what I see here today, what I've seen this morning, what I've seen this week, you know, these guys are as tough as nails. So, you know, proud to serve with these guys, call them brothers in arms. It's a great display of warrior ethos, great display of tenacity here. We got the medics checking them out right now. Shout out to One Engineers. Yeah, good fight from both. I agree. Sappers leading the way. Appreciate the comments, everyone. We are burning through matches this afternoon.
And none of these fighters want to go to the judges. Everyone is leaving it out there, going for the knockouts, going for the submissions. Lots of heart, lots of pushing forward. It's been very impressive. I love seeing it.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to leave it to the judges. It's been the one decision that went to the judges I thought could have gone either way. That was a really close match. And, you know, with us having a military focus, you know, one of our mottos is close, dominate, finish. Finish is part of it, right? So we don't play for points. We don't play for judges' decision, because on a battlefield, no one's going to come into a house in the middle of Iraq that you're in a fight for and be like, well, you were on dominant position most of the time, so you won. No, in combat, it's going to the death or until your buddy comes in and helps you out and secures the insurgent or the enemy combatant, whoever it may be. So we've got 3 more fights left. We are burning, 4 more fights. We got middleweight, cruiserweight, light heavies, and heavies. Up next in the middleweight, we have PFC Wakeman versus Specialist Frausto. We'll give a rundown of both of them in a little more depth later. I do know Specialist Frausto. He was one of the guys who trained for the All-Army Combatives tournament this past April. If anyone wants to be part of the 1st Infantry Division team, again, all you have to do is show up to 8636 Rogers Road. That's the Combatives facility. Start training with us, get involved in the program, and we select from the people who are training, involved, and are competent, and are going to represent the division well. Specialist Frausto is also one of our guys who went through the basic, tactical, and master's course this past year. And that's who's coming in first. Got a lot of love, Specialist Frausto. I think some of his opponents are his opponent fans are booing as well. I heard.
Everyone's got their favorite. Frausto is really good. A lot of good support from all the units here. You know, everyone's cheering for their soldier. So it's great to see. We got a couple of the unit streamers and banners out there in the crowd. A lot of the chain of command showing up to support their soldiers, watch them compete. It's an exciting day.
And you'll see the yellow shirts there. That is RS. That is Rico's gym in Junction City, Kansas. Specialist Frausto trains there. That's where he trains Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That's where he trains Muay Thai. You can see him off in the corner right now, getting ready to enter the cage. Sergeant First Class Ortiz, the outgoing NCOIC of the 1st Infantry Division Combatives program, is doing a quick safety check. Make sure he's got nothing in his pockets. Making sure he's got his mouth guard in. Hands are wrapped. They've been checked off by another judge, and he's ready to go. You can also see Sergeant Blake there, the new, he's not incoming anymore, he's now in charge, the current NCOIC of the 1st Infantry Division Combatives program. We got Ash Home Solutions giving a shout out to Frausto. Appreciate the love. All right, coming in next is PFC Wakeman. Once we get the bout sheets, we'll give you a complete rundown of his background. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Major Jordan. He's going to give us a rundown on PFC Wakeman, and then some more information on Specialist Frausto.
So they're switched. Blues win, red blue. It's okay. All right, so in the red corner, already in the ring, black t-shirt, red wraps on his gloves. That's Specialist Fausto. He's in 116 Infantry. He's a combat medic. Actually, recently got his expert field medic badge. I was part of that training last month, and now he's back training and fighting. In the blue corner, also black t-shirt with the white print, but the blue wraps on his gloves. PFC Matthew Wakeman. He is a medic with 163 armor, so an interesting battle of medic versus medic.
They can treat each other after the match. It's great.
Both representing combat arms units, but medics by trade.
We got Wakeman's nickname is the Viking. See if we can bring the thunder to this match.
And we are underway.
I think, yeah, Fausto's going to start with some stand-up, maybe shooting for a
right
takedown.
hand by Fausto. Wakeman firing back.
Fausto's got he's got a really good teep. I've been caught with it more than once.
Another right, comes in with the knee. Wakeman looking to wrap up, take away the strikes from him. Wakeman gets a good uppercut on the break. There it is!
Amazing, amazing! That was another great fight. These soldiers are pouring it all out. Crowd is going nuts. And again, this is Combatives. These guys got to go to work tomorrow and on Monday. So the ref will call the fight if he thinks he's being set up for some severe injuries. But you can see good sportsmanship there by both Fausto and Wakeman. Both good competitors.
Very clean shot. Dropped Wakeman in the corner. Ref's going to step in, stop it. Official announcement.
Specialist Fausto, 116 Infantry representing. Specialist Fausto is one of our all-stars. He's a true team player as well. When we went to All Army this past year.
Shout out to the camera.
Yeah, he gave us a stick, looked over at us. When we went to All Army this year, he had a bunch of training that overlapped with the train up. So he came into the training late and actually went up a weight class. So he bulked while he was gone, came back in, fought up a weight class, still did well, won a couple matches, but ultimately got knocked out. So I'm super excited to see what he does in 2025 when he's fighting in his actual weight class at the All Army competition every April, Fort Moore, Georgia.
Awesome fight, both competitors, awesome.
So we've had some people ask, like, how do I get involved in Combatives? Super easy, you just show up. 8636 Rogers Road is where we're located. The Central Coffin, the Engineer Building. We run lunchtime training for free every day, 11:30 to 1300 every duty day. And then we have the basic tactical and master's course. Basic we run almost every week. Tactical course we run once a quarter. Master's course, we either gotta go to Fort Moore, or if we get enough interest, like we did in 2023, we brought them here to Fort Riley and certified like 12 people over the course of a month.
Every week we got new soldiers walking in, first time training, first time doing anything, no problem, right? Like we do the training, and then we're a made-to-order service, right? Like you can train, you can do technique, you can do workout, you can do rolling if that's what you're looking for. There's no pressure to compete. A lot of our guys that train maybe don't compete, maybe have other priorities, other events they're training for. We not only do the combative soldiers do well in the ring, but what?
I'll cut the music.
The message is to turn down the music.
Yeah, we just had a mess. Yeah.
Like we were saying, we get a lot of guys come in. They're training. They're going to selection for a special operations unit. I've had guys, worried about 160th Aviation Special Operations and like getting a little more hand-to-hand stuff, and we provide that training for them. We can do customized packages and everything needed to get you ready to build that confidence when you're going to these other courses where more is going to be asked of you, than just doing a PT test. So we got a lot of guys that just looking for that extra workout, right? Something different to mix it up and break up the monotony of lifting weights, ruck marching, stuff like that.
Yeah, if you show up to Combatives Gym and train with us frequently, you will get in good shape, even if you don't want to. Otherwise, you'll have a rough time. You'll have a rough time on the mat. The guys are super friendly, though, as you can see. So my background, I'm a Special Forces officer, and I feel very comfortable in the Combatives Gym. It feels like I'm back on an SF team. So I love the guys there. Nothing but respect. They still maintain military bearing, but at the same time, it's a fun atmosphere. In the Combatives Gym, we do more hard stuff in a week, I think, than most people will do all year in the military. So if you want to train, come down, train with us. If you're not in the Army, I also recommend training martial arts. It's just a really good experience. I train a couple different styles: karate, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Kali, blade work, stuff like that. So really helps develop you as a well-rounded person, teaches you control, teaches you to maintain your emotions. Also a great physical fitness thing. I see in the comments we got Jeffrey Lawless, Law Dog, one of our All-Army competitors from 2023, watching from Poland. Law Dog, thanks for checking in with us. Appreciate you over there.
So we're on a brief 10-minute hold. The fight's been going fast. People have been getting the knockouts, they've been getting the finish. So the other competitors weren't necessarily all stacked up and ready. Usually we have more time than that. So we're taking this to let our staff keep up, medical staff keep up, everyone make sure everything's done proper way, right? Everyone's hands are wrapped to standard, everything's done prior to them stepping in to compete. So we'll be on a little break, probably another 7-8 minutes or so before the next match pops up.
But keep listening. We're going to keep sharing some information about Combatives with you, and we'll get back to the fights once they come on. For those who are kind of curious about why the Army does the Combatives program the way it is, we'll jump back in history to 1852, and the first Combatives manual for the U.S. Army was actually a French bayonet manual that was translated. That's what we used for about 50 years, 60 years. World War I happens, bayonet fighting doesn't work so well in the trenches. Update the manual again. Fast forward to World War II, we use gutter fighting. That's a lot of like eye gouging, biting, fish hooking, all the stuff that's kind of illegal in the UFC. That's great and still good techniques for use on the modern battlefield. The problem with a lot of that stuff is it's hard to practice it, and it's really hard to practice it against a fully resisting opponent. Fast forward, kind of the Cold War period, that's what we call the Combatives Dark Ages. Whoever was your local black belt or martial arts guy in your unit, that's what you train. You got an Aikido guy, that's what you're training. You have a Kali guy, that's what you're training. BJJ, Muay Thai, whatever it may be, that's what you were training. That doesn't work for creating a unified program and building the warrior culture. So after UFC in 1993, we looked at the program again. Staff Sergeant by name of Matt Larson, father of modern Army combatives, came through and was like, saw what they were doing at UFC, had experience in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, revamped the program and kind of set it on the path that it's on today. John, talk to me about some of the benefits of training combatives. If you don't know, Major John Jordan is actually an author, just came out with a book called Keep Rollin', available on Amazon. Tell me about some of the benefits. You've been a lifelong martial artist. What are the benefits of training martial arts?
So obviously we talk about it for physical stuff. As a soldier, it's your job, right? We got to fight, we got to win, we got to close the distance. I mean, like obviously you get those skills from the combatives, as you can see today from the competitors. But there's so many secondary benefits. So the list just goes on and on and on. The main one I like for my soldiers is to give them that confidence where if something goes wrong, they can handle themselves. They're not worried about getting into a physical altercation, or if a primary weapon system goes down, they're not terrified of what am I going to do next if it's just me, right? Your fighting, your skills, it's always with you, right? Like no matter if you're in the airport, you're on vacation, like you have those skills. They go with you everywhere. You can save your life, protect your loved ones. The peace of mind that brings lets you be more confident when you're entering a room, when you're using your weapon, when you're going through different mission scenarios. Aside from that, there's been a lot of studies going on about just the mental overall benefits of fighting. Like Evan's talked about, it's decision making under stress, right? It is a stressor. It's a good stress though. And if you don't do stressful things in your life, everything seems stressful.
Yeah.
When you do stressful training, the easy things in life that may have stressed you out before now they're not so bad. Now it's, hey, no one's sitting on my chest trying to punch me, right? I just got to make a decision about, what we're doing for this mission, right? Like, if we're going left or right, who's coming with me, who's staying behind, stuff like that. Not things to freak out about, right? Like, we save our energy for dealing with stress with the really, really bad things, which we know is like when we're physically amped, when we're in the fight, when we're in the zone.
100%. I felt that firsthand. I got a lot of my, I would call it stress inoculation at Ranger School. That's where I went first, right before I went to Iraq. And I remember on my second Iraq deployment, my guys were laughing because our battalion commander would get stressed about stuff, and I would be completely unemotional. And they're like, "Why aren't you getting angry?" It's like, well, no one's shooting at us right now. This is just like a meeting with a sheikh or something. It's not a big deal. We'll recover from being 5 minutes late to the sheikh meeting. And so I didn't get it from Combatives initially. I got it from Ranger School. The problem with Ranger School is it takes 2 months, requires TDY, requires your unit to lose you for a while, and then there's a long recovery process. Combatives is at almost every post, or every major post that I know of. It requires no TDY. It gives you a lot of the benefits of that kind of like stress benefits of Ranger School. It gives you a lot of the confidence benefits of things like Airborne School, and it's done locally. So if you are on Fort Riley and want to get involved with Combatives, come to one of our training. Come to the basic course, come to the tactical course. If you go to our Instagram page, please follow our Facebook and our Instagram page. If you go to our Instagram page, you click on stories, like the story highlights, you'll see the course dates and times. We accept walk-ons. You show up ready to train Monday morning on the first day of a Combatives course with the appropriate equipment, which will be listed on that Instagram stories. We will put you into training. We have removed all the obstacles. I don't want you to deal with paperwork and all that. I just want you to show up and train. The guys we have working at the facility love Combatives. It's not our job. It's a way of life. Let's talk a little bit about our 3 judges.
All right, so lots of experience with our judges here. First one we have, we call him Professor Sean Roberts, our head instructor. He's one of our civilians. He's a 2nd degree black belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but a wealth of knowledge in all other aspects of combat, right? He's done multiple certifications through other branches of the military, other martial arts. He's been coaching and teaching for close to 20 years or so. Like, it's an amazing wealth of knowledge.
And he not only trains Army combatives, he trains martial arts, and then he also trains like on his own time and teaches on his own time. So, if I have a question, I'm a special forces guy. If I have a question or I want a common sense check, I go to Sean Roberts. That's who I bounce my ideas off of to make sure I'm still operating in like the logical range fans there. Let's jump over to, we got 2 of our competitors walking in. Let's jump over to, we'll talk a little bit about Hector real quick, and then we will jump back over to our competitors.
So Hector is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt, professional MMA fighter.
We're talking about the judges here.
The guy scoring these matches. Hector himself has around 15 MMA fights. That's him in the cage doing the fight, actually competing at a high level. He's done Army combatives. He's done amateur and pro civilian MMA. He's competed under different rule sets. He's kind of seen it all. He's also an excellent boxing, Muay Thai coach, lots of striking experience. Usually the guy we're looking to lead our boxing training, cleaning up people on their kicks and knees and all that stuff. Awesome at his footwork and really, really smooth at putting together good combinations. And
in our 3rd judge in the center of the screen here, you can see just his head peeking over there. A little bit of salt and pepper hair there. Jason Keys, former infantryman, spent 20 years in the military, Brazilian, blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, striking experience, loves shooting. He's an NRA coach, I believe, as well as a certified distributor. You can hear the crowd going nuts. What we have going on right now is the cruiserweight division. That is First Sergeant Rosario walking into the ring. First Sergeant Rosario will be going against Specialist Morales. We're going to turn it back over to John. John's going to give us a rundown of both Specialist Morales and First Sergeant Rosario.
All right, already in the cage, blue corner, that is Specialist Noah Morales. He's got the tan shirt, blue wraps on his gloves. He's from 82nd Delta Company. He's an Intel analyst. Great jiu-jitsu blue belt, really slick, got a lot of good submissions in the opening rounds coming up, leading up to this. Red corner entering now, the black shirt. He'll have the red wraps on his gloves. That's First Sergeant Parvin Rosario from 1st BEB. He's an engineer, lots of experience. He's a wrestling champ. He's done a lot of boxing experience. If I were a betting man, I'd say Rosario is going to look to keep this on the feet, throw in his boxing, maybe mix in some takedowns. Morales would probably be more comfortable getting him on the ground, looking for his submissions.
First Sergeant Rosario was brutal in the pankration rounds. He was throwing bombs. I think he had a TKO in the pankration.
He did, which is not common. That is, he got his opponent to quit due to his slapping and superior striking ability. And here we go.
First Sergeant Rosario, another great supporter of the program. Yeah,
Morales in on a single leg. Rosario holding the hips, looking for a switch.
Or back take.
And he's getting close to the back. Morales rolls to avoid, gives up side control, but saves himself the back mount. Rosario, though, moving quickly to side control and looking for the mount. There he is.
Need to start dropping bombs.
Morales has got to get out of here. It's going to be quick.
We got Sergeant First Class Ortiz as the ref in there.
Morales looks like he turned his back to avoid the strikes. Gets you out of striking trouble, but leads to danger with a submission from the back. Rosario's looking for the choke.
Looks like a rear naked. Is it in? It's hard to tell. He's trying to lock in the rear naked choke.
The gloves
scrambles out. Yeah, the gloves make it very hard to get some of those chokes where you have to manipulate your hands. Same thing with the shin guards. When you go for things like triangles, it makes it very difficult.
Trying to sneak under the chin with that padded glove on.
That looks like
he's almost got it locked up. Morales pawing at the hands, holding on. He's holding on with his defense.
He lost his mouth guard.
He's in deep waters here. If Rosario can sink it in. Good.
As soon as they're in a kind of a settled position, Sergeant Ortiz will stop the fight to put the mouth guard back in, but he doesn't want to interrupt a submission attempt at this point. And again, First Sergeant Rosario having trouble getting that, with those gloves, getting that rear naked choke locked in.
Excellent hook control from Rosario, staying on the back. Morales, though, not willing to quit. He keeps on peeling those arms off and fighting out of that rear naked. He's got to do something about the hooks, though, and turn. Here he goes, turning out, but now he can't let the strikes come. He's got to defend. He's got to defend.
Ref saying defend yourself.
He winds up turning the back to avoid the strikes again. Same dilemma. Rosario doing a great job staying on top, staying in the dominant position no matter where he turns.
Rosario with a strong start, dominating the fight so far.
Morales is pushing him against the cage, trying to limit Rosario's ability to switch back to mount or get a submission. Fighting the hooks off. It's getting dangerous using his hands, so every time he reaches down to fight the hooks, that allows Rosario to throw punches and sink chokes.
And Specialist Morales trying to get out of that bottom position.
Rosario falling into the triangle. Morales is out.
10 seconds left. 10 seconds. Good reversal right at the end. I think it looks like it's going to go to round 2.
Morales doesn't have a lot of time to finish here.
Okay.
Excellent finish of the round.
The crowd is going nuts. First Sergeant Rosario's got a lot of fans here. Same with Specialist Morales. This is the most hyped I think I've seen the crowd that wasn't part of an actual knockout.
Excellent work from both fighters. Rosario clearly dominated the position. He's got to be ahead on the judges' scorecard. Morales never gave up, though. Whole time, fighting out of the choke, fighting out of the position. And then we can see, at the last minute, had improved, had passed the guard and got to mount. You gotta say he probably lost the round, but not by much. Still a close fight. They're still both in it.
Yeah. So that you can't see it just off camera. Specialist Morales' entire platoon is like 20 of them just off to the left of the camera. that are going nuts cheering. I would show you, but it would mess up the live feed, and I'd have trouble getting it back. But he's got a lot of support from his unit. First Sergeant Rosario's got a lot of support from his unit. This is an exciting match. I would have loved to see that round go another minute, just because, you know, Morales finally gets on top just at the end. You know, I would have loved to see him throw some strikes down and just kind of see how things played out.
It's a lot of work to get to that point right at the end. It takes something out of you, but here we go, starting back from neutral.
We are in round 2. Again, this is 3 3-minute rounds, so we are in round 2, our second 3-minute round. Fighting for the cruiserweight, First Sergeant Rosario in the red with the black shirt, and Specialist Morales in the blue with the tan shirt. Sergeant Ortiz, our judge, calling to the corner, telling him to touch gloves and begin.
Both competitors trading early. Rosario lands. Morales still charging in though. Gets in on the single again. Rosario looking to crank the head a little bit, but the arm's in. It's a tough guillotine to finish. Spins to the back. Morales has got to be quicker.
There we go. Into mount, into mount. First Sergeant Rosario's in trouble. He's in trouble. What uses the fence to walk up and reverses. Great reversal.
Morales has guard. Rosario looking to punch to open the guard up. Excellent back and forth from both competitors.
You can see Morales pulling him in close to avoid some of those strikes that First Sergeant Rosario no doubt wants to rain down on him.
Rosario willing to let him up. He wants to trade. Morales trying to keep it on the mat. He knows he can get the submission.
Morales is on the back now, working the body shots. Those are pretty light though. I don't think that's going to do anything to First Sergeant Rosario.
He's got to secure the hooks if he wants to stay on him. Rosario does a good job fighting out. Good stand-up.
Crowd loves the striking. They're loving it.
Morales has got to keep his hands up when he comes in with those kicks. Rosario's looking to counter with the hook. Rosario lands again. Morales still pushing forward though.
These soldiers are redlined. You can see how hard they're breathing. You can see their movement slowed. Still putting out some good shots, but it's not like it was 3 minutes ago.
Morales still coming forward. Rosario looking to counter.
Sergeant Ortiz stopping the fight real quick. Hey, you get the mouth guard in. Oh no.
He's got to find a break in the action. There it is.
There we go.
The reset.
Again, fighter safety is a major concern here at Combatives.
Both fighters breathing heavy, leaning in deep on the singles. Morales has got to convert. Rosario's looking to posture up and hit. Morales does a good job wrapping up in the close guard, keeping him close.
Approaching the end of round 2 here. I can see the judge getting ready to clap the blocks for the 10 seconds.
Morales is wrapping arms.
That's a 10-second mark. Looks like it's going to go to round 3.
We are off to round 3.
Wow. Another great round. Crowd going ballistic. I don't know if you guys can hear us clear, but I can barely hear myself talking. It's so loud in here. So what do you think, John? Who gets that round? Because that was a lot closer than the last round. First round, Rosario dominated the first round.
First round, no question, Rosario. Second round, you can make an argument for Morales winning. He got a couple takedowns, got on the back, got the mount, got some good positions, but first round, Rosario fighting back the whole time. I would argue definitely Rosario landed the bigger shots.
Yeah.
He got a couple clean punches on the feet, a couple good ground and pound hits on him. Very tough match to score so far. Probably Rosario edging him due to winning round 1. Probably even if he lost round 2, it was slight loss, right? Real
Yeah,
close.
I agree. Yeah. Either way, this is the final round. We are on round 3. Final 3-minute round. If they don't get a submission or a TKO or a knockout, it's going to go to the judges. Sergeant Ortiz making sure both corners are ready and fighters are ready. And we're on round 3. Final 3-minute round. Cruiserweight fighting for first and second place. First Sergeant Rosario in the red. Special Morales in the blue.
Both trading punches, going for it. Morales lands, Rosario lands. Morales coming in with a kick, going for the punch. Rosario and Morales both looking takedown, dropping hands. Rosario decides to take it to the mat. He's got the mount. He's got Morales in the corner. Morales is gonna have to get out of here. Rosario wants the ground and pound finish.
Morales is doing great, keeps getting that. First Rosario keeps getting on top, and Morales keeps getting escaping. I am impressed. I'm impressed.
He punched him from inside, from the bottom. He's fighting the whole time. Both fighters very exhausted, right? This is the most intense thing ever. Morales fighting out, making first Rosario pull guard. Good mount escape. Getting some of his own ground and pound now.
Eating a couple of shots to the face there. These two guys are battling hard.
Good exchange of position now. Let's see if Morales can get the punches in. Neither fighter showing any quit. Both of them still defending and striking to each other.
With combatives, we do tend to favor the top position, though. So even inside of the guard, Specialist Morales in the judge's eyes is probably, at least for this exchange, edging out for Sergeant Rosario.
Rosario's looking to wrap him up.
I think Specialist Morales needs to finish strong in this second half of the
He's got to leave a good
final
impression.
3-minute round. Yeah, he's got to leave a good impression in the eyes of the judges. I think both these guys are too exhausted to get a strong finish at this point. But
Morales is looking to break the guard, sneak in some punches. Rosario's doing a good job keeping him wrapped up, defending the strikes, not letting him get to anything too big. Referee's warning him, go to work. It's going to come down to who has more heart here at the end.
crowd is getting amped. Final 10 seconds. That is the final 10 seconds. Now is the time to leave an impression in the eyes of the judges. Specialist Morales' platoon is screaming over in the corner. And it's over. Goes to the judges. Wow.
I'm gonna take these to chairs.
What a fight. What a fight. This is gonna go to the judges again. We got our 3 judges scoring the fight: Sean Roberts, Jason Keys, and Hector Leone. All experienced martial artists. Hector, former pro MMA fighter. Sean and Jason, both, besides master combatives trainers, both infantrymen, spent a long time in the military, combat deployments. So they understand the nuances of combatives, they understand the nuances of fighting, they understand the nuances of martial arts. So very capable judges. We'll see what it comes down to.
It's a very close fight, almost half and half.
Yeah.
Right, Rosario controlled the first half of the fight, Morales controlled the second half. It's gonna be really tough to see how the judges scored it. I could see this one going either way.
Yeah.
Great effort.
And you can see the sportsmanship in there. I love seeing that. Also love seeing one of the leaders, right? First sergeant. He doesn't have to get in the cage to fight, but love seeing that representing his unit and the support from his unit. really leading by example. Applause, people are going crazy. Wait. Rosario with the win. Liana too, she had a let's go Noah. Appreciate you're watching, Liana. That was a tough match. And after seeing how hard First Sergeant struck in the pankration rounds, I mean, I'm so impressed with Morales.
Yeah, Morales hung in there the whole time, took some big shots, kept defending, weathered the storm first round, did a great job, kind of mounted his comeback slowly in the second, but wasn't enough to overcome the point deficit.
This is the next match. You had We got 2 matches left. We got the light heavyweights and the heavyweights left. Big boys are always bring the heat, so we'll see how it goes.
Take a little break. We're gonna have the leadership. They're coming in here taking some pictures with some of their guys from their unit. It's awesome to see the chain of command down here supporting their soldiers.
Up next in the light heavyweight, we're gonna have Specialist McAllister and Sergeant Ohm. So as soon as the current cruiserweights clear out of the cage, finish taking pictures with their chain of command. Again, that is Specialist McAllister and Sergeant Ohm will be coming in to fight for first and second for the light heavyweight bout. If anyone's interested in representing First ID Combatives, you're just a fan, want to represent your soldier, just a fan of Combatives in general, make sure you follow us on Instagram, 1ID Combatives. We've got a link in our bio for some Combatives merch. We don't get any money of that, but it's just a good way to represent 1st Infantry Division Combatives. Again, I might be biased. I think our instructors are the best in the nation. Just a wealth of experience through all ranges of combat. And again, what you're seeing is just a small part of Combatives. Combatives is about battlefield survivability and instilling warrior ethos. We pressure test here to see how people react under stress in a high-risk environment. So they learn those lessons here in a safe place where we can stop things rather than downranging combat where there's no second choices. John, tell me a little bit, you've been a lifelong martial artist, tell me a little bit about consistency and like, you know, let's say I show up to a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym and I'm terrible at first. Are people coming in there good or like most people pretty terrible?
So everybody starts off pretty terrible. There's no perfect feeder sport. They like, hey, if you're good at this, you're gonna be great at grappling, right? It's pretty much just grappling. A lot of times you're gonna be moving your body in a way that normal people don't do. You don't normally, unless you're, you know, climbing trees and fighting things. I don't know. Like, there's not a good comparison. So, the beginning phases of some of these guys, they have like Morales in his last fight, he has a blue belt. What that means is he's got about like 2 to 4 years of grappling experience to make it to that level, right? The first couple of years, a person's grappling, they're in the white belt phase. The main focus is defense, right? Survival, learning to survive on the ground, what not to do, the big no-nos and do's and don'ts of grappling. When you get into the blue belt phase, they're starting to piece together some of the offense. So not only do they know, hey, I can survive, I can do some of these things, now I can attack, right? I can fight from the guard, I can fight from the top. There's different moves available to me in all these different places. More advanced purple belt and above are looking at people who they're chaining these things together, right? They're adding strategy. They're doing, you know, arm attacks to get chokes to get arm attacks, things like this. But that level comes so far down the road. It's why it's critical for soldiers to be consistent on your training, combatives in your training schedule, with especially your new guys that they're not training at the martial arts gym off post. If you don't have them getting experience, getting reps during PT hours or lunch, it's not going to be there last minute. You can't just you can't cram for a test, like going to combat. You have to train this year round.
John, tell me about, you have one of my favorite quotes about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and because BJJ makes up such a large part of combatives, it applies to combatives as well, about Kung Fu in movies and what BJJ and combatives is like in real life.
So you watch these Kung Fu movies and you see these, usually it's the old master, right? The old master he's reached a skill level where he can defeat the bigger, stronger opponent using his skills based on his experience and discipline. Unfortunately, UFC has shown us that a lot of the striking martial arts, it's not easy to get there, right? It's very difficult. Grappling, it's so unique that the skill difference makes a much larger difference in application. So those years of grappling experience translate into fighting effectiveness against the younger, stronger athlete who doesn't have that experience. We know aggression, power, speed can win a fight, but when we're talking about building skill and trying to build that within our soldiers, within our ranks, where we're going to win most of the fights, we look to grappling as one of those things where we can take someone out of their element, put them in a world where they can't compete with us, and then we have the marked advantage of the knowledge and experience where we're going to get that submission or joint lock, or our battle buddies coming to help us, our teams getting on the objective, and we're accomplishing our mission.
So we got the light heavyweights getting ready to fight right now. Blue corner just walked in. Black shirt is Sergeant Ohm, another one of our all-Army fighters. He competed in both 2023 and 2024 in the light heavyweight category of all-Army. He's got a wrestling background, recently awarded a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu from Combatives Sports Center in Manhattan, Kansas. And we got, I believe, Specialist McAllister coming in right now. He's a scrapper. I mean, his pankration round was one of the matches of the day yesterday.
Yeah, he's not afraid to get in there and trade shots. He's not afraid to mix it up with wrestling. He's a tough kid. It's not going to be an easy fight for Ohm. Like we say, Ohm has a lot of experience, but he does not have an easy fight in front of him. I could see both these guys going for it right off the bat. Both of them high energy, good wrestling, good shape fighters. I don't see them holding anything back for round 3, right? This is going to be an exciting first round.
All right, we're going to turn it back over to John. Give us a rundown of Specialist McAllister.
All right, red corner, tan shirt with the red wraps on his gloves. That is Specialist Nathan McAllister, a.k.a. the Big Mac, he likes to go by. He's from 11 AB Charlie Company. He's a 15 Romeo Apache mechanic. This guy fixes helicopters and crazy stuff like that. Super intelligent kid. Wrestling background, like we said. Super tough fighter. Already talked about him a little bit, but blue corner, black t-shirt with the blue glove wraps. That's Sergeant James Ohm from 101st BSB. He's a biomedical and equipment technician. This is the guy that fixes our AEDs and all our high-tech medical stuff that we need to treat soldiers on the battlefield. Very intelligent soldier, excellent wrestler, awesome competitor. Very excited for this match.
Old Jimbo Slice, that's Sergeant Ohm's. He gets to go by Jimbo Slice. So we'll see if he relies on his BJJ wrestling background or tries to go with the strikes.
Ohm coming out swinging. McAllister looking to wrap up.
I've seen Sergeant Ohm fight pankration several times, and he throws some of the meanest slaps I've seen in the ring.
A little inside uppercut from McAllister before the break. Good shot. He's looking to get the takedown. Ohm sprawling, crossface. Good trip.
Crowd liking that. The crowd likes the big slams here.
Both soldiers, good takedown, attack and defense. Excellent work.
Looks like McAllister's cut on the ear, maybe? Maybe cauliflower ear busted open? What do you think?
Might be his cauliflower ear busting open. Ohm hits him with the right hand. McAllister wrapping up again. Ohm's underhooking and kneeing. He's using those strikes to soften him up early. not looking for the takedown.
Like I said, McAllister had a brutal round yesterday in the pankration. One of the closest matches, like I said, might have been fight of the day. Coming in, starting with a black eye. So
Ohm with a nice body head. McAllister shoots in. He's got the single leg, but he's going to take some punishment trying to get this takedown.
back on their feet. Ohm with those uppercuts.
Little knee on the inside. Ohm still circling. Little uppercut. McAllister's trying to answer. Winds up just getting the underhook. Good head pressure from Ohm. Trying to put McAllister against the wall, tire him out. McAllister's doing a good job avoiding the takedown, staying offensive on his feet. Ohm looking to get some strikes in while he's pinned against the wall. McAllister defending, pummeling. Both fighters continuing to work. Now Ohm's looking takedown.
Oh, the crowd loves that! Oh, the crowd is going nuts. Using that wrestling background to take him to the ground. Again, using the Army's close dominate finish. You can try to get in the mount.
Ohm's in the mount.
Throwing punches.
Teeing off with strikes.
Sergeant Reddick's the referee. Telling him to defend himself.
This looks like it's going to be it.
I think that was a stoppage. I think it was a stoppage, yep. Sergeant Reddick's our referee. Ohm cheering up the crowd. They are getting pumped.
Ohm's going to take the match by TKO from strikes. McAllister not defending well enough in the corner. Not working out for him. Great defense up to that point. Didn't give up anything easy. Ohm really sold the strikes, sold leading into him, and then used that to set up that big wrestling slam and put him down in the corner that allowed him to get those strikes. Excellent strategy, execution from Ohm.
That was a tough match. I would hate to go up against either one of these guys. Again, so powerful, so strong, good striking, good grappling. Not really a good solution for what you're going to have to do against one of those guys. And Ohm again, pumping up the crowd, getting them hyped. Sergeant Ohm's been one of those guys who's been with the program for over a year now. Again, one of our regular supporters. Like we were talking about earlier, the importance of consistency. You can see the consistency of the guys who train regularly in combatives are coming out and performing really well. So if anyone's interested, again, I would highly encourage getting involved in the combatives program, either at Fort Riley, at your local base, or even just going to a martial arts gym. Like John talked about earlier, there's a lot of benefits to training martial arts.
So getting back to some of the benefits we hadn't covered yet, the mental health aspect. So in the Army, we have the H2F program, we do holistic health and fitness. We're always looking for different avenues to benefit our soldiers, get them healthy on and off the battlefield. The stress reliever and the mental health aspects of jiu-jitsu and grappling, they seem weird. You're putting people into fighting scenarios, they're stressful scenarios, but they're coming out relaxed, resilient people on the other side. We see it time and time again where soldiers are telling us, hey, I'm re-enlisting because I love combatives, I love fighting, I'm having a great time. They're performing better at work, better with the relationships at home, because they're doing that activity that gives them that stress outlet.
Agreed,
right? They're dealing with it in a positive way that's productive for them, and allowing them to not carry that tension, home, or, to deal with the family, even though things have been gone. Life gets tough, right? We deploy a lot, we fight a lot, we go all over the world. We ask a lot of our soldiers and their families, and you have to have a positive way to deal with that stress, come back home, and then be a good family member, right? Take care of your kids, your wife, all that, and not, leave that stress in the gym. Work it out. Let it be the fuel that gets you through getting better. Not something that cracks up your relationship. And
I know our senior medic, Sergeant Fender, had some medical issues and had to stop training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu combatives for a while, and he was he would come into work and talk about how like depressed it was, and he actually wrote an article for the Army. Anyone can Google it, Sergeant First Class Rolando Fender, about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, combatives, and mental health. So right what's going on right now, we got one more match left. We have the heavyweight fight. It's coming up soon. Looks like it is Sergeant First Class Sailor, it looks like, and Specialist Foster. So before we get to that though, Captain Thomas is giving a quick shout out. We had 2 of the local gyms come here directly and wrap hands for our fighters. So in the black shirt, you can see him standing on the edge of the screen there, KO Boxing in Manhattan, Kansas. They wrapped fighters for free. They came here. We didn't ask them to do that. They took their time out. They've got guys that train at their location, also train on post, so they came in. There's the KO Boxing guy walking out. Check them out in Manhattan. And then in the yellow shirts, you can see RS. That is one of the striking and grappling gyms in Junction City. Again, they came out, provided the wraps for the fighters. Great support from the community here. Fort Riley lives and dies by the community here. Manhattan and Junction City, we have such strong relations. Been in the military 20 years, traveled all over the country. I've never seen a community tied in this closely as Fort Riley is with their 2 surrounding cities, Manhattan and Junction City. Big shout out to KO Boxing and RS.
Like Evan said, excellent partnership. A lot of these guys, they're here to see their guys fight, right? Like their soldiers that they're training. A lot of them, they do military discounts. They work with us when we're deployed. They pause our memberships. Kind of like work around the military lifestyle, help us out. It's something that it's kind of unique to the military community, that they're willing to work with us, help us, and everything. And it makes it much better, right? When you have that gym to go to off post and train and have another friend group, community to be part of, it gives you a little more connection. And then it's awesome to see them coming, just totally volunteer, everything, just hanging out, supporting their fighters, just wanting to help everyone get better as a team.
So we got one more match coming up, again, where the heavyweight should be coming in momentarily. It's our final match of the day. Fight for first and second. PFC Foster, Specialist Foster, excuse me. I should know better. I went to the master's course with him. He's one of our Master Army Combatives trainer. Against Sergeant First Class Sailor. We got Captain Thomas calling the fighters in right now. They picked their own walkout music. It's a little hard to hear with all the background noise, but they get to pick their own songs. Here comes Specialist Foster, I believe. Yep, that's Specialist Foster.
Foster, super tough guy. He's in really good shape. He's a big dude, but don't let it fool you. Very strong, very fast. I saw a few of his grappling matches. Very impressive on his feet. He moves lightning fast for a big guy.
Yes.
That's how he wins. I expect a fast fight from him. I expect him to push the pace first round, to get in the other guy's face. It won't be easy.
If you see some movement around the outside of the cage, that looks like Specialist Foster's platoon has shown up in force. They've got their flag. They're representing. They're just off camera to the left. You saw them running by in the background. I've got a lot of support for Specialist Foster here. He's also a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu blue belt, so he's got some grappling, got a good amount of grappling experience. He's been a blue belt for quite a while. With the Army moving around, sometimes it's not always easy to move up in rank. You're constantly changing schools.
Yeah,
so
we get these sleeper guys. They're a blue belt. They're a white belt maybe, but they've been training on the base, training with us, training at another gym for years.
Yeah.
Lots of experience, real combat experience. These guys they're monsters. It doesn't quite translate as well to the civilian. You go in and you're like, what are you guys doing, sandbagging these dudes? It's just the nature of the game, right? We move a lot, we train a lot, but we don't always have the consistency we'd like to progress in a certain style at a certain school.
So our First Class Sailor walking out, main event. We got Specialist Morales over here, stopping by to say hi. We got Major Jordan off camera talking to Specialist Morales after his amazing fight with First Armed Rosario.
honestly, what happened was that first round, I didn't know you had like a...
If you're not following One ID Combatives Facebook and Instagram page, please check us out. Drop us a like, share it around.
Because that third round, I saw I was slipping a little bit. And I was actually...
All right, let's talk a little bit about Specialist Chance Foster. Comanche troop from 5-4 Cav. He's a Cav scout. He's a Master Army Combatives trainer, blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai background, hails from Fort Worth, Texas. So he's fighting for first and second place, and it trains at RS. So you can see them in the yellow shirts sometimes on the edge of the camera there.
I could tell you, like the judges, like, you know, they had a score, I thought it was neck and neck.
I feel like...
Sergeant Sailor didn't quite get his full bio, so I don't really have that much information about him. This is gonna be a brutal fight. We got some of the fighters stopping by the announcement booth. Sergeant James Ohm is here, Specialist Morales. Sergeant James Ohm, say hi.
How you guys doing?
How do you feel after your fight?
Great. Not a scratch. I get to go to the EST range after this.
So like we said, these guys still got to go back to work. All right, we're on for the heavyweight finals. First and second place, final match of the evening.
Foster,
3-minute rounds.
Foster in the black with the blue gloves. Sailor in the tan shirt with the red gloves. Both looking to trade early. Foster gets the takedown. Sailor's wrapping. Possibly looking to stand up. Foster's looking to isolate an arm here. He's moving towards the back. Here's some punches from half guard, softening him up. Sailor's got to do a better job getting him off the pressure off him if he wants to get up. Foster's doing it. Foster's isolating arms, making him stay on defense.
And then Specialist Foster on top, Sergeant Sailor on the bottom right now.
There we go. Sailor's got a look at an escape. Foster's staying heavy on his head though, not letting him move too much. Little head and arm choke attempt. Foster's got the choke close. He's looking at the tap.
There's the tap! There's the tap!
That's it.
Specialist Foster with the win. It was a head and arm?
Foster, heavy case katami, feeds the arm over to a head and arm choke, finishes with a tight arm triangle squeeze. When you get a big dude that strong on your neck, it's a matter of time, right? He can squeeze so hard. If you're not turning your shoulders and getting out of there, it's over.
Specialist Foster with the win. We got Specialist Montemayor over here, one of our referees. How are the fights in that? You're the best seat in the house. Tell us a little about the view from inside the cage.
The fights are absolutely wild. The greatest fights I've ever seen firsthand. We have Sergeant Ohm with a beautiful stoppage. You know, we have one of the best referees we got, Sergeant Ortiz. Absolute wild fights.
Sergeant Ortiz, come over here. Tell us a little bit about your outgoing NCOIC. Talk to me a little bit about your feelings moving on, leaving First ID Combatives.
It's amazing. It's truly amazing to see the outcome of the past year and a half, the hard work, bringing the program back to life after the COVID shenanigans. It's really rewarding and humbling to see the outcome, and overall an amazing, successful tournament. I think the Ferrari Command team is more than happy with the outcome. I hope this continues.
Such good work. Thank you all for all the support from the command team, from the command teams that showed up. Thanks all of you for watching. Thanks for the people that are coming out and watching. Special shout out to the fighters. Again, any of the fighters watching the replay, I would take you to combat tomorrow. No questions asked. You guys are awesome. You have the heart of warriors. I would put you on my SF team and bring you downrange. No questions asked. You guys are amazing.
God bless.
All right, we're going to close it out. John, final shout outs as the new OIC.
No. Thank you everyone for dialing in. Epic fights.
Sergeant Major Noyes stopping by the announcement booth. How's it going, Sergeant Major?
What's up, sir?
You want to say hi to the crowd?
What's up? Great tournament today. Great work. It was awesome.
Big shout out to Sergeant Major Noise. The reason we're doing the cage was his idea. We appreciate it. Great idea. The crowd loved it.
We got to keep it going. It was awesome. Appreciate it, sir.
Thank you all for all your support.
Absolutely.
The command team.
Thank you. I'll stand, Sergeant.
All right, final shout outs from Sergeant Blake, our NCOIC.
Hey, thanks everybody for tuning in. Get out here, get training, let's get after it. The best part of this tournament was everybody who didn't think they were good enough, everybody who didn't have any experience but signed up and did it anyway. That's what we're looking for out here. That's what this program means. Thank you all very much.
Awesome. Well, that's going to wrap it up. Myself and Major Jordan are going to move around to the front of the camera so you can see us real quick, and then we're going to close out the live feed. Thank you again for joining us. Follow us on social media. Show up, train 8636 Rogers Road, 1ID Combatives. Out.